We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
I want to talk about news, don't want the drama. From no pretentious media Madonna. I found me a great ganja mama. Cannabis and coffee with Tamarijuana.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Cannabis and Coffee. It's a beautiful day in East Kootenay, sun's shining again, and I think spring has sprung, and that makes me feel a little bit better. Pulls out the doldrums of this long winter, and it's been a little bit longer than anything else. But anyways, this morning we've got some entertainment and some comedy, and we're just going to have some fun today. Talk a little bit about cannabis too, because there's always comedy, and especially the new regulations that Health Canada is coming out. That's quite the joke. But we'll talk about that too. Good morning, Reese. This morning I have Reese Turner with me. Good morning, Reese. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. So I usually ask my guests who you are and how did you get into cannabis? So I'll ask you the same thing. Who are you and how did you get into cannabis?
I'm finding out who I am more and more every day. But for now, I'm Reese Turner. I'm a cannabis enthusiast, comedian who runs cannabis comedy nights. I've run the Sesh brand out of Montreal for the last 4 years. I've done dinner and dabs in Ottawa. And I've recently relocated to the Toronto area, so I'm going to be bringing some more cannabis comedy nights out this way, and hopefully further abroad. So, and I first came into weed when I was about 13 years old. One of the older kids in the neighborhood had it, and then I hit it, and I'm like, oh, this is who I am. Okay, I get it now. And then I've just kind of been living with that reality for the rest of the time I've been here so far, anyway.
Absolutely. Well, being that, with COVID and stuff, it's really kind of shut down our events. But that's something that we really need to get back to. And I'm really pleased to hear that, because cannabis tourism is something that we really should look at too. With legalization, since they've shoved it down our throats, we have to make the best of it. So
I don't understand how we haven't.
You're right. And I think the virus has kind of put a damper on most of the things we usually would be doing, because right now we'd be planning 420 and we're not.
Yeah.
And, Global Marijuana March, the first Sunday in May, we're not. And, cannabis events like cups. Like by now we would have had Mum Cup February. You know what I mean? Like there's been cups that have not been able to go ahead. And again, with comedy nights, like we can't gather. So that's really kind of sucked.
Yeah. Like the last show I did with people at it that was cannabis related was in November, and I did it on a giant horse farm just to make sure that everybody was spread out enough. Like we really try our best to respect everything the government's put forward, even though I don't agree with them on a litany of things. I try to respect what guidelines we can, because we don't need to be messed with more than we already are. So the last one I was able to do was in November, and it was at a reduced capacity, and we were on acreage, and we probably still we put 50 people in. It's insane. These events that usually gather hundreds and hundreds of people, like we're trying our best to be as responsible as we can, but people still need to be able to access their medicine, their entertainment, and their community.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's been a real kicker for a lot of people, is the community. I'm thankful that we've got technology that we can
100%.
gather, like we have Sesh nights and stuff, and we gather online, which is I'm grateful for that, because 10 years ago we didn't have those options.
Exactly.
And testing, of course, we can't do right now, but again, respecting the public health safety regulations, and that's pretty much like everyone say, oh, it's the government. It's the public health regulations, to be fair. Everyone has a right to be healthy. So, they're just doing, I think, what they have to do to make sure that we don't end up with 500,000 dead like they have in the United States. And that would wipe out, we only have a population of 39 million people. So, you take a million out, that's a huge proportion, a lot of people. And we've already lost 22,000. So, but we're not going to talk about COVID, because that's, it does affect what we've been doing. But, moving forward, we've got, vaccines and stuff that are looking positive towards our future. So what do you plan on, because you were doing events like the dinner and dabs, what does that entail, the dinner and dabs?
Well, basically, what we did is I was doing it with a friend of mine out in the Ottawa area, and basically what it was we'd have a dab bar set up, and we'd have some vendors come in. They weren't vendors; they were more at this point exhibitors, because they weren't really selling anything. They just came to kind of dab people out and just be like, "Hey, check this out." Right. So we had some exhibitors, and then we had some chefs come in, and we had some infused food, we had some dabs, and then we had comedy. It's the perfect evening, for somebody like me. I don't really like to drink, because when Big Reese gets drinky, he gets angry,
Right.
So I prefer the comforts of cannabis. And like these kind of nights were magic, man. They were magic. We had one planned we were going to do one on a riverboat. We have a bunch of stuff in the works for when stuff kind of comes back on. We have some stuff in the works. And like right now, to keep myself busy, I've just been doing my late night sesh every Friday, like a virtual late night stoner show, where it's like Johnny Carson, if Johnny Carson was a weed head, So it's a lot of fun. I've had animal trainers, I've had blunt rollers, I've had comedians, I've had musicians, I've had actors. Yeah, it's been a great little stretch, but I can't wait for it to come live again so we can bring some of these new show concepts to people in person.
Right. And that's the thing, with being in Toronto, that's where the entertainment center of Canada really is. So you can really
that's what they say.
Introduce Canada, like you said, Vancouver too, and Montreal as well. We know that, those are great epicenters for our community. And I think tourism and making, like you said, these dinner and dabs, like there should be restaurants and lounges.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what I really, really find quite offensive with legalization. Is that they've taken our ability to, and they've got fuck all to do with COVID. This has got everything to do with the fucking regulations for legalization. They have stopped
100%.
from having lounges and being able to gather and have safe consumption sites, even if you want to call them that, or whatever you want to call them. But patients or people that smoke cannabis shouldn't be ostracized by having to hide in a back alley to smoke their cannabis, or being ostracized by tobacco smokers because you're standing in a smoke area, but you're smoking cannabis. You know what I mean? I mean, sure, it's become like less stigma now, but you still have the stigma that goes with it. But I really believe that lounges and comedy nights and all these events that we've been are our future. We just have to keep pushing forward, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Like that's why, I kind of do what I do. This is entertainment for people like me. This is for people of like a similar, well, not necessarily a mindset, because like cannabis is a pretty large, and it encapsulates a pretty large portion of our population now. So many people use cannabis. Like I want to be able to go and watch a movie and hit a vaporizer in a movie theater and watch the new Avengers movie. I want to be able to do that. I want that kind of freedom. If I can go to a movie theater and order a beer and smash a beer in a movie seat, I should be able to consume cannabis. I do it anyway. Shit. Who am I kidding? I bring edibles like mad. I sit there and eat 500 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams.
Right. Like, I mean, if you can take an edible with you, because smoking, with the vaping, it's kind of like, I don't think it's so much about the cannabis. It's more about the vape smoke and the smoke. And,
I'm one of those people, though, that it's like, right? I'm a non-smoker for cigarettes. I used to smoke cigarettes for a long time, but I don't care. You can smoke cigarettes around me and I don't care. You know what I mean? I can do that. And if I'm going to a place that I associate with that kind of behavior, I'll still go, but like, especially if it's weed, I wouldn't say no tobacco, no blunt. I'm sorry, blunt lovers. You're out of luck this time. Yeah. I do love a blunt though. Nice blunt. It was magic. But yeah, no blunts in the movie theater, but I think cannabis should be allowed. Like open smoking of cannabis, I have no problem with, because it's a risk that we're all aware of when we enter the building. We're adults. We know it's coming if it comes. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I have no problem. Like that's where like smoke-free Ontario, smoke-free Quebec, all that I kind of have a problem with, because it limits our ability to consume cannabis in our chosen preferred method. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it absolutely.
Like for me, I want to smoke joints. I don't like digital weed. I like my weed analog. I want to smoke a joint of it. I want to break it up. I want to feel it in my fingers. I want to feel all of it. When you have a little vaporizer, I feel like I'm kind of giving RoboCop a blowy.
Right. Now they got all these disposable pens and all these, all you gotta do is hit it with this, and you can walk down the street with those and be pretty intrusive. Like, you know what I mean?
I have a very intrusive battery, but it looks like a key fob for your keys. But then it just flips out, and it's got the distillate cartridge on the end, it goes up to like 5 amps or 5 volts. Sorry, not 5 amps. It goes to so I can put out a pretty big cloud of smoke with this little stupid thing.
Right.
But I still prefer. I love joints.
Yeah, I'm kind of partial to the joints too. But again, like I said, they've got so many devices and stuff now. They've kind of shoved that a whole thing down, with less smoke, more vapor is better for you kind of thing. And I'm not so sure that really is, because I find that I cough a lot more, and I have a lot more, like when I phlegm and stuff, when I'm coughing after I've smoked one of those vape pens, especially with the isolate and stuff in them. And, and the flavors, like that, you have to wonder what they're using to flavor these things. Right. So, you know what I mean? Like, you have to be careful with a lot of that, even with the nicotine vapes. I think you have to be careful, but I know they've taken the flavors out. I think I don't use them. So I'm not really up on the nicotine part, like vapes and stuff, but I know that they were taking the flavors and stuff out. You couldn't get flavored to vapes anymore and stuff too, right? So
yeah, like the cartridges I get, I think come up from the States.
Right.
I don't know how they get here. Wink, 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 wink. I have no idea, but but yeah, they're okay. I personally, I only use them when I have to be a little bit more kind of, I think, discreet about my odor.
That's
so
it.
If I'm going somewhere where I can't show up smelling like a Cypress Hill concert, I'll hit it, but most of the time I go in smelling like a Cypress Hill concert.
Yeah, who walk in somewhere, you smell like a big roach. It's like, oops, sorry.
Yeah.
But,
hey, listen, people pay good money to smell like that.
That's right. It costs a lot of money to smell like that. Never mind. Like I was talking about, before, like, the difference in cannabis, and then Health Canada now has come out with another fuck you to the patients. And I was reviewing some of that yesterday, and it's like, okay, here we go again. We got 5 bad apples and 43,000 that got busted for overgrowing fucking 10 plants, and now they want to take us all down again. And it's just like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
But
no, it's so stupid.
It is. It's so ridiculous that they want to take us down to like 2 grams per day. They, no criminal record at all for designated growers. Like, so that takes out some of these designated growers that are already growing that might have had a problem 20 years ago because they've been growing for the last 10. And now they can't have any criminal record at all. So they got to stop. You can't.
Well, I hope that they apply the same rules to the LPs, because I know that some LPs hire people with records.
Absolutely.
So it's just, to me, the whole industry, I think this new wave was less to do with that and more to do with the fact that they realize that they have too much weed and not enough people to buy it. Like, when you license...
Where did 43,000 people all of a sudden that grow cannabis all of a sudden become a big issue? That's not even... That's
Exactly.
10%. That's not even... That's 1%. And how many of those people are actually putting in diverting? Probably 0.5%, because most of those people actually are patients and use the medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's it's a weird, I don't know, it's such a weird thing to look at, because when you look at, if you know, or if you stay abreast of the situation and read about like the legal market as well, which I do, I don't dabble with the legal market really, but I keep abreast of the situation on that side. And you keep reading about this glut in cannabis production, meaning that they overproduce. When they license their LPs, they license them for these huge amounts of cannabis. And it's just rotting cannabis right now. It's going bad. Everything is breaking down. Like, it's crazy. The amount of cannabis they grew out, all of these giant companies with the expectation that everybody was going to buy their garbage cacao weed. Get out of here. Like, you know what I mean? When you look at that, it's foolish. And what they're doing right now, the government is trying to force medical patients to start to fuck with the LP side a little. If we limit your right to grow your own, you'll have to come to us because that's the law. I hate these guys.
Right.
This should be, to me, in my opinion, cannabis should be treated the same way as corn. It should be treated the exact same way as corn. That's my opinion. Because, hey, guess what? If you take corn, you can make corn mash liquor. You can do all of this stuff. It should be treated the exact same way. But you can grow all the corn you want.
Yeah.
Do you know what I don't understand? This is an herb. This is a plant that grows in the ground, but we're over-regulating it to such a point where it's ridiculous. We're commodifying nature, and that can't work.
It never has worked.
It never had. Every time we do, that's why we keep messing up so bad. We're like a parasitic culture. We infiltrate and destroy. Now let's just try to hopefully we get some stuff right along the way. Hopefully this can be one of the things we get right, and they realize how dumb they're being.
Well, it's on a 75-day consultation. So, I mean, that means that people can write to them and tell them how ridiculous they think this is. And I think if there's 43,000 growing patients out there and 420,000 people that are licensed for medical cannabis, people better start writing. Because if you don't let this slip, like we tried to when the regulations first came out, and I've said this 100,000 times, and everybody that listens to my show, I probably say it once at least on my show every week for the last 6 years. Until Health Canada sees medical or cannabis as medicine, we're going to keep going round and round. And they refuse to recognize it as medicine. They refuse to. They flat out cannot.
Yeah. Well, it's because you can't. You can't patent a plant, can you?
No, not really.
Yeah,
no,
that's what they try. That's
strains. Now that they've hybrided everything, like back in 1900 when it was just indica and sativa, and you had 4 strains. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Possibility back then, but now we've got thousands of strains, and there's so many hybrids. And how would you patent any of that?
For me,
the tops to the bottom. Like, how do you patent something that grows differently at the top of the plant than it does at the bottom of the plant?
I don't understand myself. It's like, for me, you look at the whole thing and you're like this, how did we bungle this so bad? If you're the Canadian government, you have to look at it and be like, what were we thinking? There's a great pathway into legalization that they could have looked at, which takes them completely out of retail. Brick and mortar retail is dying. And what do? They're like, I'm getting into brick and mortar retail, baby. No, that's dumb. Like all they had to do was just shut up, collect tax, and open up the market.
Right.
That's literally, and then it's a profit. It's a money printing machine that way. You don't have any overhead. Your only overhead would be an inspector to make sure you're not growing moldy weed. You know what I mean? It's pure overhead. Like
they're apparently not doing that either, because I bought some moldy weed out of the goddamn store yesterday. And
exactly. It's insane
I had to go and get some from, and I wasn't going to say anything, but now that I've said it. But I went and bought some out of the cannabis store last night because I have no meds, so I can't go without meds. So I don't have a lot of money right now. So I went and bought some cheap stuff. She tells me, it's 20% off all the time. It's pretty good. It's not their fault because they're just the store. They haven't even looked at stuff probably. They probably have never even opened a jar. I get it home. It's fucking moldy. It's fucking moldy. And I'm not kidding you. It tastes like fucking mold. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
So here I am.
That would bother me.
3.5 grams of moldy fucking pot. So it's not helping my health at all. I can't even smoke it.
Yeah, and it's detrimental to your fucking bank account after that. You know what I mean? You keep buying weed and you can't smoke it. It's crazy.
Right? So that said, it really puts a bad taste in your mouth. Never mind the taste of the weed. And never want to go back and buy it, right? Like, how do you have any confidence? And it's not, like I said, again, I'm not ridiculing the stores, because the stores probably don't open every jar and taste test every sample they've got. There's two, and they don't get it. I'm sure they don't get to. I'm sure they get an inventory list like they do at the liquor store, and that would be like expecting that the people that work at a liquor store have tasted every line of beer and every cooler and every bottle of liquor that's on the shelf too. You can't expect the employees to know that, right? So again, you can't blame the store, because the store is just getting set inventory that's supposed to be regulated by the LBD and the fucking government, and it's not. If they're shipping out moldy fucking weed, who's inspecting that? Oh, that's right, nobody. Because here's another simple fact. They've got 5 people working in the medical marijuana, department at Health Canada in Ottawa, and there's no inspectors. All these people that are in the licensed production, we got huge regulations, we've got fobs, and we've got cameras, and we've got all this stuff. Who's coming and knocking on your door and checking to see if your weed's not fucking moldy? Because I'm telling you, if you're lying right through your fucking teeth. I got the fucking pot to prove it.
Yeah, no, that's insane, man.
So when people say to me, how do you know this stuff? Well, God, I'm buying it out of the back door of a microcraft, so I know that they're selling it out the back door. How do you know? I'm buying it. What more proof do you fucking need?
Yeah, it's crazy, honestly.
Moldy weed from the fucking store. I just bought moldy weed. What more fucking proof do you need? I'm a liar now? That I'm a liar.
No, that's insane. When people that's it. It's one of these things. this market has a lot of work to do in terms of, I don't know, building up goodwill towards legacy people, or legacy people building up goodwill towards the market, because it's just messed up.
Burnt that bridge. They've already burnt that bridge.
Of course they have. They've repeatedly burnt it. They built it up and burnt it, and then they peed on it, and then they burnt it again. They found a way to light urine on fire, and they did it. But this is kind of what governments do. This is what they did to liquor. What we have to hope, this is what I am hoping, more people who get involved in politics have some more common sense opinions about cannabis, and they weren't scared about it as a kid. And I think once a lot of people's nanas and papas and stuff start using more cannabis, start baking banana bread that'll get you lit, cannabis is going to start to feel different. You know, like, I'm looking at my own family, and I look at my parents. I consume cannabis with my parents. Not a lot of people do that yet, you know, and I think when more people start to do that, I think we're going to start to see a lot of legislation change, just because there's still all of this weird stigma that doesn't make any sense around it, in my opinion. Some of the most productive people I know are cannabis users. Some of the greatest thinkers that I know are cannabis users, and I hear all this stuff, and it just doesn't make sense to the people I know. And just hopefully the market can start to shift and reflect who the users actually are, and realize a lot of us are responsible adults, and we don't need your hand to be held as much as you want to do. The Canadian government, let go of my hand a little bit. Let me explore a free market of cannabis. Let my grandmother grow pot, because my grandmother can grow plants in sand. I bet she can grow some killer cannabis, and she should be able to grow 100 plants if she wants. She's 82 years old. Right. You know what I mean? I don't think there should be a limit. I should be able to grow a field of it. Oh, I don't like the way it smells. I don't care. I don't like the way the cabbage and potatoes smell. Okay, but you guys want to cook it all the time. Okay, I'm my Eastern European neighbor. Calm down with your goulash. Nobody cares. You know, I hate it. I hate the attitude. Oh, I shouldn't have to smell your smoke. I shouldn't have to smell your shitty shampoo. Shut up. You know, but we have to start realizing as a people that, just shut your fucking mouth. You know, that's what I think people have to realize more of. Cannabis is a beautiful thing, and we shouldn't just accept it. We should embrace it. This is a thing that I think, especially now, could be such a boom for our economy. Just look at not even the plant itself. Look at the ancillary industries around it. The entertainment industry, huge boom. If we could open up weed hotels and lodges, I bet you'd see a huge boom. You know, it's this kind of stuff that we have to look at and stop demonizing a plant because your grandfather, who was a nerd, was like, oh, I smoked it once and then I like jazz music. It's like, shut the hell up, bro. That's my opinion. Sorry, again, my opinion. If I have offended any septuagenarian jazz fans, sorry.
It's all good. But again, like I said, it's just the stigma that we still have, we're still kicking. And even with legalization, even when I do have to go to the store, it's like, I don't even want to go in there. I don't want anybody to see me going in there. I'm crossing a line. I should be, and then it just it's almost embarrassing. But, people walk in the liquor store proud and loud, walk out with their cases of beer. We're going partying. Yeah, boo. Right? Everybody skulks into the pot stores wearing their masks, hoping nobody's seeing them. It's like you might as well be going into the back alley to some dark lit place, right? The liquor stores don't have, like their windows all closed. Their windows are all open. They got posters and stuff all over the outside of the window. You go to the cannabis store, it's all like black.
Liquor stores are giving me samples of shitty wine. You know what I mean?
Right?
Yo, have a sip of my shitty Chablis. It's like, get out of here.
Right? I don't want your shitty wine. I don't. I've been to a liquor store since before Christmas, so I wouldn't know. Like, I don't really consume alcohol anymore. It's just something that I just have. I don't know. I've lost a taste for it, I guess, or something. But I haven't been in a liquor store.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, I went to the liquor store for the holidays to buy some booze for the house. Just out of habit. But it's just beer. I bought a 2-4. I bought a 2-4 of beer, and my father drank every single beer. I didn't even have one beer. I just bought this 2-4 and I just stared at it. I'm like, I don't really want this bread water right now.
Yeah. No, I think there's still beer in the fridge. And last time my cousin was here, there's still one left in the outside.
Good to have as a host.
Yeah, because like I said, they come and visit and they bring, beer and it gets stored in the fridge. And then when they leave it, there's a couple left over, but they drink them. I don't. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
there's still a couple of stray beers from people's leftovers from whenever, this summertime, I think. I can't even, it's been so long since I've seen anybody, I can't remember the last time, to be fair.
No, it's
Like,
crazy.
it's been pretty, it's been a pretty desolate kind of a year. So, again, with social media and stuff, it's good that we can keep up and keep our spirits up and have people like you that do your late night comedy sessions, because I'm sure that people really, they tune in. I've tuned in, and you make me laugh. So, that's good. Sometimes when you're just sitting home alone and you're just kind of like, and then, you'd be able to pop online and see somebody that makes your day. There's another couple that are from Nova Scotia. They got a little 2-night that just the two of them, they sit and they play folk music. And I'll sometimes
cool.
tune into them too, right? Just to kind of listen to them. And it's just,
I like it.
yeah. So I kind of like that, the way that we can reach out and, I've met other people from across the country because they are doing this because they feel isolated and we feel isolated. And not all of them are cannabis people, but by the time I'm done with them, they're thinking about cannabis. Like
that's it.
even my, I've got a friend here in town that, he has a hard time sleeping, and he's a local like celebrity in town, and it's like, well, maybe you should try some edibles, maybe just a low dose, maybe just some CBD, and he's like, and so, like I said, there's a lot of people that, even just a little mention the fact that you use cannabis as medicine sometimes quirks their attention, and just wants them to ask questions. And
yeah, exactly.
A lot of seniors I'm finding that are really interested, and the fact that they can go into the store and get it, which I do think, okay, for some of these seniors that want to, they use the medical dispensaries before that now have turned into stores. So they're comfortable because they were comfortable going in there before because it was medical. Now they still go in there because the same people still work in those stores. Like you can go up to Kimberly and they've turned themselves from medical into legal, but it's still the same girls that are working the store. So they can't say too much, but you know what I mean? Like it's still the same friendly face. So the seniors are still going up to those, those dispensaries and stuff, because not so much the new ones, because the new ones they're not familiar with, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But the ones that were already pre-existing prior to legalization, I have a friend that works in one of them, and she sees a lot of the seniors up there, and they will drive from Cranbrook up to Kimberley to just go because it was medical prior to.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. It's a familiarity thing with us. A lot of the older cannabis users, I find, or people that are getting into it that are older or advanced in age. What I found a big success with talking to older folks about cannabis was I would tell them about like the sublingual strips and sprays, like the little strip of THC that you can put under your tongue. So like alternate delivery methods that are familiar to them from other medicines or other products. Like the sublingual strips is just like a Listerine breath strip.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then they could just put it under their tongue, and then 15 minutes later, they feel fantastic. I know that some companies put out THC and CBD capsules and pills. I'm not huge on the imagery of pharmaceuticals in cannabis, but it does help people who are not familiar with cannabis as medicine to use it as medicine. Because it's in a familiar delivery method.
Well, it's brainwashed into believing that pills are okay. So if it's put
exactly,
then it's okay. That's just something that we've been indoctrinated our whole life.
Exactly. Exactly right. Our whole life we've been hit with pills and stuff. And if it comes in that little bottle, okay, the doctor said it's chill. And if that's what it takes to get the people to kind of get cannabis into them for maybe the first time or the first time in a long time, I think it's that kind of stuff and making it familiar people that will breed, I think, the next generation of customers and users. Sorry, customers is the wrong word. But especially now, the next generation of users, right? Of cannabis as a holistic tool.
Right. We want to be able to teach people from like farm to plate kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, teach them how to grow and then teach them how to make their own stuff so they can, help their own health. And that's where I'm at with it. Let's face it, if you're in cannabis to make money as a patient, get over it. There's no money to be made. And on that note, we're just going to take a quick 2-minute break and thank our sponsors, and we'll come back and talk about the fact that there is no money to be made unless you're a millionaire in this industry. So we'll be right back. You've been talking to us live on paceradio.net.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
BMA Hydroponics has everything you need to succeed. Visit our hydroponics superstore at 404 Maitland Drive in Belleville, and we'll show you how to grow your own quality cannabis for pennies per gram. We're open Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Thursdays and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Call 613-967-9888. BMA Hydroponics. It's worth the drive.
The only way to go.
CP operates a medicinal cannabis signing clinic. If you want to grow your own medicinal cannabis and are located anywhere in Canada, then I'd like to suggest that you give them a call. They can be reached at 1-613-967-9888. That's 1-613-967-9888, and grow on with CP.
Are you interested in Canadian and international cannabis news? If you are, then catch myself, Kim Cooper, and Al Graham for our live reefer report on the Pace Radio Network, found at paceradio.net.
A doctor's job is to relieve your pains. And when it comes to growing cannabis, the biggest pain is trimming. Let Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions take the pain away. Whether you're a home grower or a commercial operation, we have the cure. From 4 plants to 400 plants, garden size doesn't matter. Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions comes to you with years of experience and professional discreet service. It's simple. We trim your weed and we do a damn good job. Visit drbuckcts.com to book your trimming.
Hey growers and grow shops, do you want a 20% increase in yield from your cannabis grow? Then you need Calexa nutrients for bigger, better buds. Grow Micro Bloom is a 3-part premium-based nutrient trio specifically formulated to give you bigger, better buds. Win your own sample kit by heading to CalexaNutrients.com and contact us with your name, email, and catchphrase. We will pick one random name on the Pace Radio Facebook page. So remember, check out Calexa Essential Nutrients for bigger, better buds at CalexaNutrients.com.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
The People's Alliance of Cannabis in Canada is an organization working to improve cannabis legalization in Canada. They have a mission and values that includes all Canadians, no matter where they come from. The values are including everyone, as no one should be excluded from participating, equality, diversity, advocacy, along with cannabis education and research, plus industry, safety, and professional standards. If this is an organization that has the same values as you, check them out at peoplesallianceofcannabisincanada.ca. Once again, People's Alliance of Cannabis in Canada.ca. Check them out.
At Legacy 420, we believe in being different.
Experience the difference of quality control.
Our labs provide tested formulations for all of our products.
Experience the difference in trust.
Our customers can trust that we are following up-to-date COVID precautions for their safety.
Experience the difference in accessibility.
We're open 7 days a week. Please visit our website, legacy420.com, or contact us for curbside pickup as well as nationwide mail order shipping.
Legacy 420 values overall wellness.
Come and experience the difference of Legacy 420.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
All right, we're back with Reese Turner talking a bit over the break about, just the fact that, how comedy and entertainment and how, that's the whole point of, even though it's an education and awareness network, and that's why we have Pace Radio, is to, people advocating cannabis education, but it's also about entertainment and making people laugh and trying to keep people on, on the funny side of things. Because if we really thought about it, with all this bullshit with Health Canada that we've all been through for the last 25 years, I'm surprised that any of us are still standing. Because every time we turn around, it's one more slap and one more slam. And it was the MMPR, and then it was, the Allard case, and then it was the Smith case, and then it started with Hitzig, and it's Section 56s. And I was talking to a girlfriend yesterday that was an original Section 56. And she said this new regulations is just like going back to that. You could only have so many plants. You could only have it there. You could only do, and they were in your face. So here we are, the funny thing is they want to beef up the security. So here we got the microcrafting end of things, wanting to strike down some of the security because they feel the security is too much because they're small producers and shouldn't have to have the security that a licensed producer has. And now Health Canada is coming in saying, well, your patients can only grow 10 plants and you still have to have the same security as a microcrafting licenses. Okay, who's going to come and fucking check my gates and my dogs and my alarm systems? The same ones that came and checked them when I had to have them 10 years ago? Because 10 years ago in our paperwork, you had to have all that stuff. You had to state that you had gates, lockers, vaults, security systems, all that shit. But guess how many people came out to check? A big fat fucking zero.
That's amazing. So
again, who's going to these licensed producers and checking? Oh, the ones that found the secret rooms at Canada, whatever, fucking where Canada Growth or whatever the fuck one was that? The ones that found the pesticides shoved in the roof at Origami. Like, who's checking these fuckers? The same ones that came and checked us, right? So again, they want job creation. You want job creation? Why are you over regulating? Why don't you make more jobs to go out and investigate and actually check the growers? Go check the patients. Go and check those 43,000 patients that are growing, supposedly overgrowing and diverting. Go hire fucking 100 guys to go out and check. Isn't that called job creation and economy growth? I don't know. I'm not an economist or anything, but you know, to me, it just seems stupidity. It just seems like complete stupidity to then ostracize, waste more tax dollars on a 75-day consultation. Let's be clear on that. That's wasting tax dollars. To have people that are being ostracized again, to have not even here's another fucking clincher for you with these new regulations. How many people in Canada don't have a general practitioner? Raise your hand. 90% of fucking Canadians do not have a doctor. Why there's a doctor shortage in our country? It doesn't matter what part of the country you live in.
Yeah, it's true.
So so they don't want you having a doctor that's taking money for your license. And the free practitioners that are doing it for licensed producers won't be able to do it because they won't be your general practitioner. Now, isn't that another kick in the fucking teeth? So how is the licensed producers going to like that when all their fucking, you know, little licensed practitioners there that have been signing up hundreds of people for their 3 gram a day to get their mail ordered can't do it anymore either?
Yeah. It's an interesting time, man. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't even know like what we're looking at really. You know, it's shifting so constantly, and it's always so weird. It's so weird. We're in such a weird spot.
They were given 5 years, right? When legalization kind of rolled in, they started changing the Cannabis Act and all this other stuff. They said, okay, well, within 5 years, we're going to revamp, or I think it was from Al, or I can't even remember exactly what, but it was a 5-year fucking window. So guess what? Here comes 5 years, and here comes Health Canada rolling in at the last minute again to try and fucking fix something that they haven't fixed to begin with. And they always wait till it's 90 days till the last fucking day that they got to fucking write the legislation to get out there. We got 75 days to consult. Gives us another 30 to fucking get it into legislation. What in the actual fuck?
Well, it's like, it reminds me of when I was in school and I would just procrastinate and then be like, oh no, I have all this work to do. And then panic.
Right.
And then do all the work.
I understand you guys are under pressure. I understand you've got fucking a pandemic on your hands. I get it. But you didn't have a pandemic on your hands 3 fucking years ago. Why weren't you looking at this 3 fucking years ago? There was no pandemic then. Why weren't you looking at it after, you know?
Yeah, there's all these studies that are saying that cannabis is beneficial to people during COVID and how it helps protect your lungs.
It's essential for fuck's sakes.
Yeah. And then they're like this, oh, snap, let's get everybody that's got weed that is nuts. Let's get them. You know, it's so dumb.
In the last year, everybody ran out and started growing their own weed. So their numbers went down because everybody was home. So with everybody home, they actually have the time to grow. Because let's face it, when you got plants, you got to be looking at them every single day. But if you're working, 100%. You might not have the time to grow out your licensing, right? With everybody being home for 6 months, everybody was able to crop off at least once.
Yep.
Right.
100%.
So the numbers went up. Like I've got another friend that, you know, has a hydro store out in Ontario, and he says the business is booming. Best year they've had. Right. Because everybody's at home growing weed. Like, hello.
Exactly.
So, but here's another question. So you're allowed to grow 4 plants legally. They're going to make it so licensed patients can only grow 10. That's 6 more than the legal. But they're not going to make the legal guys have security, dogs, fucking, you know, fences, vaults. Yeah. So for 6 more fucking plants, you expect us to fucking run out and spend $100,000 on security for 6?
They want you to be a doomsday prepper. the goal is to be a doomsday prepper. They want you to get fences. They want you to get security systems. They want you to buy 38,000 cans of Spam, a couple 100 liters of water. You got to drive the bean sales.
But they're going to take our guns too.
Yeah.
Fence yourself.
I don't have any guns.
You know, like
I don't have any guns. Come take my baseball bats if you want.
I don't have them either, but I'm just saying, like, fence yourself in. We're going to take your gun.
Yeah.
What the fuck is next? Yeah. So what, we're fencing ourselves in to keep them the fuck out? Because that would be okay with me if I could fence But here's the thing: the bylaws here allow you to do that.
I live in a city. I would love to have a fence. Okay, you guys are lucky with your fences. Okay, I don't have a single fence. I live in a city and it sucks. I wish I had a fence, a yard. I got no room.
I feel it. Well, you know what? I do have a yard, but I live in a town where we can't have a fence over 4 feet. You want to build a fence?
Why? What do you think you're doing behind a big fence? Why can't you have a fence over 4 feet tall?
I don't know, because I don't know. It's they can't have a clothesline. There's all kinds of stupid bylaws here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's great. So
it's cool to be free, right? Isn't it true, no strong and free? But don't you dare try to dry your clothes in the air.
No fence, no fence. And if you want to, I have another friend here in town that wanted to add just put some walls around her deck outside. She had to go to the city for a permit. Well, the permit and all the architectural drawings they want to go along with it, and this and that. It is $5,000 just to add a couple walls to a fucking old trailer. She's like, what? So that didn't happen. But yeah, it's ridiculous when you live in some municipalities too. Again, this is something else that Health Canada is doing with their new regulations. You can't be within a school. You can't be within this many of this and that. And like I said, I can't read it off the top of my head. I don't have it in front of me. But
how many candy stores do they let happen around schools? You know, like how many places can these kids go and turn themselves into little fucking meatballs?
Well, here's a nice thing. You know, they got a liquor store and then the next door is the cannabis store. Wasn't that supposed to be some sort of fucking regulation on so many meters from a liquor store? Well, the LCB's got their liquor store.
Liquor in their smoke
fucking cannabis. Yeah.
It's so
right
crazy.
Next door to each other. Right next to. And like I said, they're the cannabis stores, I think, have to be so many meters away from a school and daycare and all this funky stuff too, pretty sure. But again, like I said, now with these new regulations for cannabis patients to grow, they have to be apparently not adjacent to a school, daycare, anywhere that people will be congregating in public or something stupid like that. It's just like I said, I read through it and went, what the actual fuck is this? Yeah, it's exactly what I thought. As soon as I started reading it, it was like, what the actual fuck? Like, are you kidding me? Not 2 grams? What the fuck? Like, right now, as it sits, I've got a 14 gram a day license from an LP because, well, I don't. I actually let it slide, but the last one I got, and they wouldn't give me any more than that because of affordability. They asked me how I was making, like how I was paying for it. I said, that's really none of your fucking business. But my grow license is 20, and I want 20. And I want to grow. The $850 they would have given me my grow license from this place for $850. But we'll give you an LP license for free. It's no problem. As long as you buy from your producer. Go through Canamart now. Because through Canamart, you can order from all of them, right? So you go with your licensed producer. They hook you up with Canamart, which means you can buy from whatever producer you want. So you don't have to split your fucking shit up. Yeah, they've got a fucking great big it's a great big scam. Let me tell you, scam. It's a good racket. Let's put it that way. Yeah, and all these people out for free, make them all pay, go through Canamart, make Canamart a bunch of money for being a vendor, center for all the other licensed producers. It's a win-win, right? Right? It's a win-win.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like this. This has been fun.
Fuck. Right. So again, like here we are back to, why we have no lounges, why they're shutting down our lounges. You can go to a bar, you can congregate in a bar, you can get liquor slip, bootlicking, drunk, fall down, end up in the drunk tank. But God help you if you go to a vapor lounge.
Exactly. Yeah. We can't have you doing that because then you might start to ask questions. We don't like questions. Get drunk. Shut up.
Yeah, at least you're not going to end up in jail. So, but like I said, like, why, what's your take on that? Like, again, because you're doing dinner and dabs and you do like the bulk
crazy
stuff. Like I said, with the cup too, like the first year we could do it in the pub because there was no legalization, right? There was no regulations. Second year I went to go do it at the same location. Sorry, it's legalization. You can't do that because there's booze in this place. Right?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense.
Infused beer.
Yeah, when you look at everything, it makes no sense at all. We're just kind of, unfortunately, right now we're being hamstrung left, right, and center by the government in regards to this. This is something that, like, it's been demonstrated. There's demonstrable evidence that shows that cannabis can be beneficial to people. And there's demonstrable evidence that shows how destructive alcohol can be for people. But one is so fully and widely embraced by culture, and one is so shunned, and I don't understand it. You know what I mean? If people can go and pretty much essentially get drunk off of bread-flavored mouthwash, they should be able to, they should be able to go and toke up a little broccoli. You know what I mean?
Well, I believe that any adult should be able to put any substance they want as long as they're not harming themselves or anybody else. That's my stance.
Honestly, even if they're harming themselves, they should be able to do it. We over time, something has disappeared from our society. That's individual responsibility and personal responsibility. We have kind of eschewed that for various kind of things over time. It's like, I think as a human, you should be able to do whatever you want as long as it harms nobody but yourself. If you want to drink paint, go ahead. Go ahead. Right. That's on you, buddy. If you like the taste of unleaded gasoline, try it out. Go ahead. But as long as you're not making other people drink that shit, you know what I mean? If you want to do it, do it.
What religion?
Yeah, it's a freedom of religion. My religion says I have to drink strychnine. Okay, go nuts, pal, but don't make my family drink it. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I agree. Like I said, I just don't believe that. Like, I mean, I'm pretty central. Like, when it comes to things, and I'm pretty fair, and I like to try and see things fairly and accept everybody and everything for what it is. But some things just aren't acceptable. And that's bullshit. The whole legalization, rode off the backs of patients. If it wasn't for patients pushing for access to begin with, we wouldn't fucking even have regulations that we've got now. So now that it's just we've ridden off the backs of patients, some of them are dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people that fought for cannabis for medical patients are dead. They're no longer with us anymore, and they put their whole life into this, and now they're gone, and now you want to fucking screw the patients because you found a couple guys that might have overgrown a couple hundred plants, and what harm were they fucking doing anyway? Like, seriously,
they're taking my money, damn it! That's my money.
Yeah, they weren't paying the taxes, and how many of us begged you to take our fucking money for taxes on our illegal fucking market, and you refused?
Yeah.
We begged them. Just open it up. Fuck taxes. Put some regulation. Sure, we'll whatever rules you want. Fuck taxes. We'll pay you tax. No problem. No. We want you to rebuild from the ground up. We want it to cost you $1.5 million just to fucking look good.
Yeah. And this is it. I think people who are if people who are passionate about cannabis need to start getting equally as passionate about politics, because it's through getting involved in politics that's where we can actually incite some change. This is something that I fully believe. There's this saying that I can't remember where it's from at all, but I heard it once, and it kind of stuck with me. It's infiltrate, destroy, and rebuild. You know what I mean? Get in there, break the system down, and build that shit back up, baby.
Yeah, you were talking to Loretta, because we've been saying that for years. Because, like, in 2014, we were in Montreal pushing the Liberals to get the policy for legalization. And we were there. And there was lots of us that were there. Like, I'm not saying, but we were all that. We were there. And it was because of cannabis people and patients that went to that damn convention, that pushed the policy through to Liberals. So they actually brought it so it could be elected on. So it became an election issue.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And here we are. And I'll tell you, we were pushing it through. We sure the fuck didn't want this or expect this. We were pushing for a freer market. We were not. This is not what we asked for. But again, they had to. You have to remember they've got 70% conservatives and other parties and Christian fundamentals that they have to push this through as well. Right. So as much as we see things in a certain, dynamic as it's just as easy as this, it really isn't that easy, because we've got all these naysayers and, like you said, the stigma that still goes around with a dirty pothead and all these stupid things. Oh, you drinking.
It's crazy.
All those things still stick. And
you get Christian fundamentalists. Here's the thing. If you ever get a Christian fundamentalist who starts to argue with you about the benefits of cannabis, Just be like this. Oh, isn't your God supposed to be infallible? Doesn't your book say your God is infallible? Well, who made weed? Was that God? Because that sounds like, yeah, okay, so shut up and bang your Bible somewhere else, you fucking weirdo. Jesus Christ, wear your bland clothing, your slacks and your Birkenstocks, and get fucked. Literally, get fucked. I hate religious people. To me, should never dictate policy, period. If you are religious, stay the fuck home. Put ash on your forehead like a fucking lunatic. You know what I mean? Celebrate the Easter Bunny or whatever the hell they do. I'm sorry. It drives me crazy when people who believe in Sky Daddy start to set policy for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's this thing, there's how do you believe in this intangible parent figure that says, do it and I'll fucking spank you? Get out of here. Get out of here. I hate it. So, Christian fundamentalists, they can all drink the Kool-Aid, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They should never set policy. This is where, again, rational thinking people who believe that cannabis is as good as people say it is should get more involved in politics and start dismantling this stupid system that's been built by idiots. Because really, that's what it's been. These are the people that build our policy are the kids that back in high school didn't have any friends, or they had too many friends and zero morals. You know what I mean? There's this weird divide, and it's on both sides. I'm weird. It's like I'm a left-leaning libertarian. You know, I believe in certain things. It's weird. I'm a walking contradiction, but Jesus Christ, people, let's get our shit together. For fuck's sake.
I kind of lean that way too, because I want less government, but I like our social programs too. I like, when people start screaming about socialism, what do you like, healthcare?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you like healthcare? Do you like public schools? How about the roads you drive on? So we are a social democratic fucking society. I get that. But I also believe in capitalism just a little bit, because I believe that people work hard. They should be able to keep their money. I don't believe that it should go to the government. The government should spread it all out. So,
I believe, the sign of a great society is how it takes care of its weakest members, right?
Right.
That's my opinion. And if we're not doing that, what are we doing here?
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's a man. Really good job at that. Honestly, as Canadians, I think we're pretty proud of the fact that we do take pretty good care of our most vulnerable, except for our Indigenous peoples. But we're trying and we're working at that. And I think the Indigenous peoples are feeling that we are working towards trying to become more understanding, and it's healing, and we all have to do it. It's not just one side or the other. It's everybody. And I think once we see that, it'll be a lot. But again, like I said, there's so many people that are not that way. And that's what's the unfortunate thing. In Canada, you see what went on in the States and all that shit. And then you hear it coming up and spilling across, and you hear the people from Alberta screaming about this. And because I live right on the border pretty much, and my husband works in Alberta. And some of the stuff coming out of Alberta is just appalling.
Yeah, I hear it. I hear it.
And it's here too, because I'm living in a very conservative area too. We've got a small anti-masking group here going around to all our small businesses and harassing them about their masking policy. And I live in a population.
Do you have nothing better to do with your life that you want to terrorize this small business? Here's the thing: if I was a store owner myself, I am a fairly large individual, and if somebody was to refuse to wear a mask in my store, and I have to wear a mask, but this putz thinks that they don't have to wear a mask and they want to make trouble for me in my own store, I'm going to spank them like their parents should have. You know what I mean? These are people that weren't spanked as kids. These are I'm going to take my ball and go home kids. I hate them. I hate them. The people that are go up, they're the people that if they see a bird in a cage, they shook the cage. You know what I mean? Edgelord losers. Take a chill pill. Yeah, I hate it. Take a chill pill, relax, put a piece of cloth on your mouth. You got horrible breath anyway. You know what I mean?
You know what I like about the mask? I don't have to put lipstick on. I don't even have to worry about it anymore.
I don't have to put lipstick on. I love it. It's amazing. What a time to be alive. You know what I mean?
No, I don't even have to worry about it. So that's my take. My take on it. I don't have to worry about lipstick. Fuck. So, it's been, like I said, it's been a bit of an inconvenience. I'm not going to lie, but I mean, it's not been life ending. COVID would have been, like I said, if one of us would have caught COVID, could have died, but it hasn't been life ending yet.
I've lost some of my friends have lost parents and grandparents because of it. You know what I mean? And nobody, like, that's a horrible pain that I don't like that people have to go through, you know, and to have people be like this, it's fake. It's be like this.
Yeah.
You piece of shit. Like, just shut your mouth. Like, just because nobody you know has caught it, maybe you should meet more people. You know, maybe you should meet more people. You know, because
I just don't think this is something that, you know, like, I don't care where it came from. I don't want to point. I don't care. It's a finger blaming, pointing fucking finger. Who cares? It's here. It's here. We have to deal with it. And we've been, like I said, as a country, I think we've done really well for a year. We're into it a year now, as of yesterday. It's been a full year since first Canadian died.
Crazy.
And that's, it is. It's crazy to believe that we've been sitting at home for a year. But like I said, it's been pretty, because we're small and we haven't had a large outbreak here or anything. I mean, our restaurants are open to, you know, small capacity. You can sit, you know, you have to wear a mask and everything. And that's been open for a while. Our schools are open. My son has been going to school. You know, they didn't for the first 6 months, but in September, the schools opened and we've never had a shutdown here. I get the teachers here. I commend the teachers in our SD5, commend them hugely because they've done a terrific job at keeping our kids safe. Our grocery stores are running at 50 people per, but I mean, we don't have nobody's bitching. We stand in line, we wait our turn. We've had a few incidents, but again, like I said, I think it's just I think a lot of people have really humbled themselves. I think it's been partially, you know, mental health wise for a lot of people. I know people are struggling, myself included. It's been a long year, but it's almost over, people. It's almost over.
That's it,
and that's what I keep looking. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. My dad gets, my 80-year-old dad gets his vaccine. My dad got his vaccine on the 8th. So
yeah, my grandfather just got his vaccine.
Yeah, and that's I said I'm more worried about my parents because my dad works and he's 79 years old and he's out in the public. So my dad got his vaccine, so I'm pretty, you know, happy about that. And all we can do is keep moving forward and keep smiling and keep laughing and keep watching you your Friday nights, you know, late night sessions and listening to our shows and doing these kind of things and trying to keep our community connected. Because like I said, along the way, because of legalization, our communities suffered. Because of COVID, our community suffered because we can't gather. Our events have been canceled. There are bazaars out in Nova Scotia and all the, you know, stuff that Mom was doing. They do daily bazaars and all kinds of fun stuff all through the year. Again, St. Paddy's Day is coming up next week. And usually we would have, you know, some sort of something going on, gathering of some sort where you get together and, you know, even if it's not cannabis related. But again, here we are, St. Paddy's Day, another year gone. But there's always, you know, the future coming forward. And like I said, I'm hoping that by August we're opening up enough that I can maybe plan another Kootenay Cannabis Cup.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. Well, you let me know if you need entertainment at that cup because I'll be there.
Well, we always need entertainment. And I actually had a comedian from Calgary come out the last couple of years, or the last year, the first year. The second year we didn't have any entertainment. We used a karaoke machine because it was in my backyard. Because we had like the venue canceled the first one, and the second one we couldn't use it because it was a pub, and so we ended up, overcame it all, and we ended up having 75 people in my backyard. It was a blast all weekend long.
There you go. There you go.
It was a blast. Yeah. So what have you got coming up? You just do your Friday night sessions, and what else you got planning coming up? Anything for the future?
Just doing reviews every day. Like, well, not every day, but just doing reviews on occasion. You can see them on my Facebook page, Reese Turner. See them on any of the Cannabis Facebook groups, pretty much. And on my Instagram, RE_Reese T. I got some podcasts coming out if you like watching movies. I'm starting a podcast with a couple buddies called Film is Dead, where we get baked and watch movies that we like, and we talk about them. So we've done like Michael Mann's Heat. We've done Vegas Vacation. We've done Gladiator. We've done a bunch of different movies where we just get baked and talk about them.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's a good time.
So they can reach you on Facebook, Reese Turner, and on Instagram. And go ahead, give any other websites you can reach out. Or?
No, just those are the two main ones, man. Just look out for Reese Turner. That's me. I'll be everywhere. Hopefully, you know, I just keep doing my thing, and hopefully you guys keep liking it.
Absolutely. So yeah, reach out to Reese and watch him live on his Friday night late night sessions on Facebook Live. And he's a funny guy, so go in and enjoy a few laughs. And they're funny guys. You guys have made me laugh a few times. It's kind of brought my Friday nights into a full circle. I'm sitting here bored, you know, Steph. Oh, let's see what's going on. There you are. But again, we're going to be just starting a new show too here in April. I'm working on producing my own show with a co-host, Park, and it's going to be based out of Quebec. So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, we're working on the bugs and stuff, but it'll start in April here, and we'll have you back on for that because
fantastic, yeah.
Montreal. So again, we're going to be focusing out of Quebec more than anywhere else. So again, you do a lot of stuff in Montreal. I know you've relocated, but you got some insight on that parlez-vous français out there. So.
Yeah, I still do. Je t'aime Montreal. I still do shows out there, and I do shows in the surrounding area. I've just expanded now to include Ontario. So once I can start doing shows, it'll be everywhere.
Excellent. Well, thanks again for coming on, Reese. You've been listening to us live on paceradio.net. Next week, we'll have Tucker on, and we're going to catch up with the Halifax Substitution Program. Y'all take care and have a great week. Bye.
Hey growers and grow shops, do you want a 20% increase in yield from your cannabis grow? Then you need Collected Nutrients for bigger, better buds. Grow Micro Bloom is a 3-part premium-based nutrient trio specifically formulated to give you bigger, better buds. Win your own sample kit by heading to collectednutrients.com and contact us with your name, email, and catchphrase. We will pick one random name on the Pace Radio Facebook page. So remember, check out Collexa Essential Nutrients for bigger, better buds at collectednutrients.com.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
At Legacy 420, we believe in being different.
Experience the difference of quality control.
Our labs provide tested formulations for all of our products.
Experience the difference in trust.
Our customers can trust that we are following up-to-date COVID precautions for their safety.
Experience the difference in accessibility.
We're open 7 days a week. Please visit our website, legacy420.com, or contact us for curbside pickup as well as nationwide mail order shipping.
Legacy 420 values overall wellness.
Come and experience the difference of Legacy 420.
BMA Hydroponics has everything you need to succeed. Visit our hydroponics superstore at 404 Maitland Drive in Belleville, and we'll show you how to grow your own quality cannabis for pennies per gram. We're open Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Thursdays and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Call 613-967-9888. BMA Hydroponics. It's worth the drive.
The only way to go.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
A doctor's job is to relieve your pains. And when it comes to growing cannabis, the biggest pain is trimming. Let Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions take the pain away. Whether you're a home grower or commercial operation, we have the cure. From 4 plants to 400 plants, garden size doesn't matter. Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions comes to you with years of experience and professional discreet service. It's simple. We trim your weed and we do a damn good job. Visit drbuckcts.com to book your trimming.
Hey growers and grow shops, do you want a 20% increase in yield from your cannabis grow? Then you need Collected Nutrients for bigger, better buds. Grow Micro Bloom is a 3-part premium-based nutrient trio specifically formulated to give you bigger, better buds. Win your own sample kit by heading to collectednutrients.com and contact us with your name, email, and catchphrase. We will pick one random name on the Pace Radio Facebook page. So remember, check out Collexa Essential Nutrients for bigger, better buds at collectednutrients.com.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.